Hey everyone, in today's video we talk about 3 ways to see the Blue Angels in Seattle and avoid the crowds. Let's get into it. Since moving to the Seattle area in 2014 and being around more or less ever since, one of my favorite things to do here is to go see the Blue Angels when they're in town for Seafair. I love the planes, I love that I don't have to go far to see them, and it's just something I really enjoy. I wish they came more often. I wish there was more of that type of activity in the area. I love air shows and jets and all of those things. So I took the kids today to go see the Blue Angels for me, let's be honest, but they also found a lot to enjoy. Jude liked it, he loves planes. Max enjoyed it, she got to play in the lake. And I was thinking about how to make it more enjoyable, and I think that we really nailed it today. So here are 3 tips to make seeing the Blue Angels more enjoyable and avoid the crowds. First tip, go on practice day. This applies to any city. Go see the day that they're practicing, because you get to see pretty much the whole show. And the way that they do it in Seattle, at least, is they do 3 different practice sessions on Thursday, and then the main show is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now the difference is practice days, they're doing 3 different sessions, and I think the first 2 sessions for us this year were 3 planes and then 2 or 3 planes for the second session. And then the third session was everyone together, plus they had a 7th aircraft there. I think that he was also in an F-18. I think he was flying around taking pictures of everyone else performing. And then last but not least, Fat Albert showed up, and he's the big C-130 that flies around, and that was really fun too. I love the jets so much. They did some really cool stuff. I'm just gonna say my favorite thing that they did today, besides like kind of the straight up starburst move that they do. I really like that. They do this move where they did a stall hover. So they're almost hovering like, they're moving really slow, they're at stall speed, and they're only being held in the air by their thrust. And that's it. That was so cool. So it's a nice reminder of how powerful these aircraft are, and then it's extraordinarily difficult to do that in a jet. It's not a helicopter. It's not meant to do that. It's not designed to, and so it definitely is challenging. The next tip is scout out where you're gonna go and have an idea of how far you're willing to walk, because at least in Seattle, parking further from Genesee Park is best. And I had picked out Coleman Beach, which is just on the south side of the I-90 bridge. If you're on the north side of I-90 bridge, you can see a lot too, but the bridge is gonna block a lot of the show for you, especially some of the lower level stuff. And so we parked in Leschi and walked about 20 or 25 minutes, all on sidewalk. It was safe, and it wasn't a bad walk outside of the fact that it was like 85 out and sunny. It's pretty warm for us at least, but just that walk was great. And then we had picked out Coleman Beach, we packed light, we took a stroller. So, the couple things that we did take, we didn't really have to carry, and that was nice. So we got there, and instead of going to the first or the second session, we decided to go to the third session for a couple of reasons. I wanted to go to the gym afterwards, and we weren't early enough to make the first session, so I decided let's go to the third one. It looks like they're gonna have the most planes there, and that's gonna be the most enjoyable full experience for us. And so that's what we did.
Wow.
They're gonna be loud here as soon as they're next to us. There was basically no additional traffic outside of normal Seattle traffic getting there, and it wasn't too bad. And the walk wasn't too bad. We looked around for parking for like 5 minutes. I turned around and found a spot right away. It wasn't bad at all. And we geared up, and it was about a 20 to 25 minute walk. There are also a couple of bathrooms. There's one in Leschi in the park. There's one at Starbucks in Leschi. And then at the park that we were at, Coleman Beach, there's also a bathroom there too. And so we have plenty of facilities. It's not so much me I worry about, or the baby, because he wears diapers still, but Max can sometimes really need to use the bathroom pretty often, especially on a hot day where we're trying to stay hydrated. The third way to avoid the crowds, or at least avoid the traffic, is take public transit. Now, the city of Seattle is really pushing everyone to go to Seafair and take transit. There are additional ways to get there during Seafair this year, and I don't know if that applies to Thursday practice day or not. The regular buses, of course, are running, and there are options. There's the scooters, there's the bikes. If you can take an Uber or a Lyft, you can get pretty close. If your focus is, like mine, mostly on the jets, then Thursday is the day to go. Go on that practice day. I will make a note here about the Blue Angels. They can be really, really loud. They're fighter jets, and it's an air show, and one of the things that they're showing off is how loud they are. That's part of what I like. And so if you have young kids, for Max especially, we took her earmuffs because she can sometimes react to loud noises. And for Jude, I was able to put my hands over his ears for the couple of times that the jets got really, really close. And it wasn't really a surprise. I could see them coming, and I knew that they were coming in. I knew that we were going to have a loud moment, so I was able to just kind of help cup his ears. Bring sunscreen, bring water, bring snacks, and expect traffic when you leave. One of my pleasant surprises was Jude. So Jude spends all day here on the property. He looks at planes. We're not far from the Snohomish Airport, and he looks at the planes that fly over all day. Sometimes every 5 minutes there's a small plane. They're 500 to 1,500 feet, so they're low. They're those smaller planes, Cessnas and things like that, and helicopters, and he just loves watching them. And so I knew that he would be interested in the planes. I didn't think that he was going to be as interested as he was. He really enjoyed the jets. I thought maybe they'd be a little scary for him. And there was one moment where one got loud, but even when they were flying right over us, about as loud as they were getting, he wasn't frightened. And so that was just a really pleasant surprise. Your mileage with your kids and your family may vary, so keep that in mind. All right, y'all, thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you got something from today's video. If you did, like and subscribe. If you didn't, leave a comment about what you'd like to see. And if you have other questions, of course, mention those below. Have a great weekend.